I used to say, I don't have any kids, and I chose not to have kids. But I used to say if I had kids, I would not encourage them to become an actress or to become an actor. But you know what? I take that back now. And the reason why is because had I not gone and tried, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I wouldn't have gone through this full evolution of pursuing acting and having my heart broken because I wanted it so desperately and it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. And then having to find something else to feed my passion, to fuel and feed my passion. And struggling for almost 10 years to find that. And trying a bunch of different things and volunteering with different organizations and trying this and trying that. Until, it just all was, one thing leading to another. And then here I am, now I'm leading an organization that is all about the things I wanted when I was 18 years old, in a way I couldn't have conceived when I was 18 years old. And now I'm doing the things I would have given my eye teeth to talk to Sony producers and Francis Ford Coppola and people in the industry, agents and artists and actors and actresses in LA and things like that. I would have given my eye teeth when I was 17, 18 years old. Now I'm having those conversations, but I'm ready to have them. Sorry, I just touched my mic. I'm ready to have them. And so I'm almost 42 years equipped to have these conversations and not give away my self-worth and not let the conversations be the reflection of who I am back to me. I'm not dependent on those people to tell me I'm okay, which is when I was 17, 18 years old, a lot of who I was being an actress and being on stage and getting that affirmation back. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that that's part of what fuels us as people, community and feedback, and we get to see ourselves reflected in each other. But when we need it from other people, that's when it gets a little dangerous. And so I think the things that made me a great actress, that do make me a great actress, even though I haven't worked in a while, are also the same things that made me not right for the business. Because I was so sensitive and very vulnerable, easily swayed. But you know what? My whole point in saying that is if you have a dream and it's to wear a frying pan on your head, wear a frying pan on your head. I have to tell you, this has been a very deeply personal but incredible process. I am going to be 42 in May. Most of my friends have had children. Going into my 30s, at first I was ambivalent. And then I remember a girlfriend telling me, she woke up one day and said, "Where's my child?" She had that, I need to be a mom. And I kept waiting for that to happen, and it never happened. And Ryan and I had lots of talks about it. At one point, I thought that I should have them because I'd be missing out on something. As silly as that sounds, the pressure was so real. I was really afraid that I would be missing out on, I was really afraid that I'd be missing out, which I think has kind of been, as I'm realizing, probably a greater, larger theme in my life. But once I was very comfortable with the decision and I started to notice, I had a couple of friends who made comments like, out of context, granted, being a mother is the most important thing you could do. And I thought, well, gosh, I really heard that. And I thought, how could you say that? How would you know? How could you know that that's the most important thing? Because that statement relegates me and my actions to not being important. And so that's actually how I started to hear what we call institutionalized racism and sexism, those isms, That's how I started to hear the institutionalized version of it, because at the risk of getting on my soapbox a little bit, we are a culture. We are a culture that is, it is so institutionalized in our culture that people have families. There are family discounts. There are family restaurants. I mean, the thing is, yes, there are others, right? So we have restaurants that were abhorred by the media when they said, don't bring your children. Children aren't welcome here. It's both and. I'm not saying this is a black and white issue, but it's very gray. And so much like when we're starting to talk about women in the boardroom and Lean In with Sheryl Sandberg and Marie Slaughter's Women Can Have It All and things like that. I mean, it's the same. The things we say, that's why, and this is why, it just goes back to why we've been really pushing for everybody to come see McFarland. Because when something is institutionalized, that means we don't see it. And so when an aunt, a well-meaning aunt, or a parent says, when are you going to have kids? That implies that I should be having children. And that implies that by choosing not to have children, I am choosing incorrectly. So when are you going to get married? When are you going to have kids? When are you, again, so what's in McFarland that is institutionalized is, we have a character who goes into, a white character who goes into a predominantly Latino neighborhood, Latino community, starts teaching, has great success with the kids there. But there is a moment in the film where no matter how much talking about it we've done, how much good feeling, and we've agreed not to say this, and we're going to try to do that, there is something so entrenched in the understanding of what our differences mean. There's a danger in it or something. So anyway, that a particular harried moment can trigger this as opposed to inclusion. I'm getting off there, but my point is, I advocated for a while about being child-free, not childless, child-free. And I think it's been a really important conversation for women of my generation to start to have.
Hi, I'm Rachel Seals.
Hi, I'm Angel Bernardi.
Hi, I'm Celeste Gastineau.
Hi, I'm Allison Higginbotham.